Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Dawntrail. In the last episode, we decided to head out to Urkopacha to look for our first elector. We were able to find them, and we've gotten our first feat that we need to accomplish. And said feat is to capture a wild alpaca. Thing is, they tend to be skittish and like to spit in your face. So we need to acquire a particular type of saddle, which will help calm the alpaca and allow Uklamat to catch one. She does not like alpacas, so it'll be a bit of a challenge for her. We have only been given, or we were only given, a basket of alpaca wool with which to obtain the saddle, which is nowhere near valuable enough, so we have to execute an ever-increasingly valuable series of trades in order to eventually obtain our saddle. So we're able to trade the wool for a poncho and the poncho for a hatchet. So far so good. We now need to go find a way to trade the hatchet for something more valuable than the hatchet. So that is where we are at the moment. As you can see, I have switched jobs. We are now Red Mage, because I was able to get the Warrior to level 91. So we're going to go ahead and start working on the Red Mage, trying to get the Red Mage to level 91. So we need to do that. Alright, Mablu. I was wondering what that buff was that I had. Oh, I also went and did the side quests, and I did the 6 fates that you need to do as part of the shared fate to get the rank up so that I can get the riding map. So now I have the riding map so I can move full speed on any mounts. But did all of that off screen, so. Alright, Mablu. Let's get started. Well done recognizing that Toolmaker is a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you make an excellent merchant. Should probably have just gone ahead and turned that in. Oh well. Now, the gear coffers, I am going to continue to put on my warrior because my warrior needs gear upgrades. All right, there we go. All right, before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. The hatchet, yep. For that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has been so kindly provided. Ready to go? Smelt off. Alright, let's begin the alpaca ride. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit. Please don't spit. It'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. I have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pella would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Toral? I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Wokor Zormar, wasn't that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I have never appreciated up close. It takes a long way around the cliffs to get there. To the highlands belong to the Yakhoi. So, Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. Becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle, though, then it'd be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. We made it without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Ukuvlo's inn, so we'll walk the main road when we'll return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant, weren't you? Third promise? That I was. And perhaps you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Toby took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, we can't have too many. They can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Wiklamont's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's me Blue herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the third promise, and let's get the bargaining. All right, let's get started. Do you have that little axe for me? Here it is. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're Meat Blue, the owner of these fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, the third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet. Forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality's acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. Sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column. The same price as the hatchet. This deal will bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I may, Mistress Meeplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Get this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I don't wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wuklamont. That's why I'm prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair, given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. So you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Ayame and I have mate together. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. All right, let's go pick some leaves. So we need 5 of them. Piece of cake. And number 5 is over here. All right, we got our leaves. You brought me some leaves then? Indeed we did. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Here, we brought our share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate. Bought at the shop, 1 sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Alright, then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Alright, another quintupling of our value. Blue, what's wrong? As I was saying before, even after everything Tobley's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. Then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How could I expect Tobley to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans to leave? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tyrell's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobley held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zerolja? I mean, of course I am. I'm Wuklamat of the Dawn's Promise, after all. All right, another excellent trade. The hatchet for the leaves. All right. Lamont. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Aaronville's point. Righty then, our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. All right, so we head to the Mezcal Distillery. And here we are. I want to speak with a man by the name of Gobly. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. It means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, perhaps Lamont could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Is that person named Lovely? Yep, your name is Lovely. All right, Lovely. Okay, BB Old Jaw. Me? I'm a chef from Tuliolol. I come here to buy Gobly's Mezcal, the finest in Tyrol, according to many customers. Always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small snips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It'd be nice to have less, potent refreshments during such conversations. Also might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Interesting. Someone else over here. Raplu. There's not much I can say about Gobly, but I can tell you what Gobly's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it hard to procure said ingredients, and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't really bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. Alright, well that's a juicy tidbit right there. Soupli. Gobly might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sunperch. Okay, so he could probably use nicer clothes. Okay, Mablut. So what'd you find out? Well, we got some interesting tidbits. Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As to me, I have found out where Gobly is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Muklamat. Okay, go up the slope. That was a short ride. Alright, Gobly. You have business with me, madam? Why don't we talk down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Alright, there's the rest of our entourage. Alright. Now what's this about? Keep it brief, would you? I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pal, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. Top grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? We'll just start at the top. The Hubigo chef's distaste for strong drink. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, Hubigo chef, is the same. Thing is, not everyone can enjoy mezcal. I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right. Absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hubigo friend, but I did not realize I myself was to blame. Must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with the added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. We offer to cull the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit, I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there is no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volok Shunsa. It would be such a shame to miss a chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no... Oops. Okay, basically mentioning that we don't have any garments on hand, but we do know a weaver who might be able to help. My finger decided to move on its own. Alright, as a supporter of Wuklamat and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. Alright, that is certainly a tempting proposal, and one of which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Hey, weren't there monsters running amok in Agave Jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring cell swords to clear them out. Factoring in that said expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment, and Ayame and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use my time to pen an introductory letter to Bull Knock. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachumpelo. Be safe. Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, let's head north of the village. That should be Agave Jaws just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you've finished clearing out your share of the pests. All right, we will start here. I need to remind myself of I play Red Beige. Been a minute. I know that they changed manification. Okay. All right. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Moblu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Alright, here we are. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. There you go. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Alright, your monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bullknock, as agreed. And the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Moblu. You were the one that inspired me to come this far, third promise, but let's not celebrate until we have a saddle in hand. Moblu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now, should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. All right. Another excellent trade. All right. Lamont. All right, even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands don't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Like what? It's worth 1,000,000 gil? Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to cross the plaza. Alright, here we go. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Here, still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, Saddler. We brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on the jug? But you had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader and a gift with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid a no claimant but the Zoralja, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great. Then wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And think, we started out with only 100 pel basket of alpaca wool. Moblu, you're going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Alright. Feat accomplished. We got a taming saddle. Success, you traded a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal for taming saddle. Now she's got to actually do the taming before it's really finished. All right, here we are. Alpha note. You've acquired the saddle then? Yes, and thanks to no smart to Moblu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know. This is something I need to learn. The challenger appears. Great sunken gods, I did it. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Wuklamat's touch. That's because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only now noticing that? Zeraljal, he's back. And he has a shiny golden alpaca. Having done exactly what he set out to do. So he found the shiny one. Yeah, he found the shiny alpaca. That alpaca he's brought, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wuklamat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tyrell can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature, these are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tulialal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth, they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war as not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. The backwards way of looking at things. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. And I've seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. That's why Gulu Jalja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has gaze fixed upon more distant horizons, who unite not only Tulialal, but the star in its entirety. Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone. He's always been like that. Never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Kona. It's like we're not even family. Alright, well, you have your alpaca to catch now, Wook. Alright. I'll ponder Zoraljan's mysteries later. Right now I need to think about finishing the Feet of Gold. I have my saddle. I practice how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Urun Kansa is west of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wuglamot off to our hunt. All right. Oh, we need to go this way. This way. Alright, but first, let's see what everyone has to say. Alphino. How deep do you think the valley is? I glanced over the edge on my way here, but the mist was too thick to even speculate. Aaronville? I never set foot beyond this point. The valley is said to be home to fiends far more ferocious than spitting alpacas. Mablu. Orunkansa is a steep and treacherous place, so only those with the head ledger's blessing are permitted to go there. LSA. Zoralja may have caught his alpaca first, but that doesn't mean Wuglamot is out of the running. She can do this. Kryl. I was right. The least we can do is let Wuglamot know we're cheering for her. Yeah, that kind of drops out of sight pretty aggressively. So we need to cheer on Wuglamot. So let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah! Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wuglamot is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But Aren't you a Shaitana from Shak Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlayan. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
Taking her a while to find one.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
Well,
They did it.
there you go.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
All right, there we go. Uklamat. Thanks to Alphinona's healing hands, I can actually stand again, maybe even walk. All right, LSA. Alphino was quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this to be his new obsession that he's mastered collecting firewood? Ryle. You were out here for quite some time, but I'm glad Wuklamat was able to catch her alpaca, and Aaronville choosing to share his story with us was a welcome surprise. Aaronville. I spoke too much. If Wuklamat is up to it, we should be heading back to Tobli. Alright, Alphino. Wuklamat has no serious injuries to speak of. However, she had clearly been pushed to the very limits of her endurance. Alright, let's go. I'm so relieved the Third Promise came back to us safely, and the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. I don't need any dye. Lukamot still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic, though? Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time, and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exalted third promise. Exalted? Exhausted. I'm not sure which I said. Alright. We'll ride back to the ranch. And teleporting will probably be quicker, but you know what? This is fine. That's snow? It is snow. Alright, here we are. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea, and then Wooklamont can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas, what grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown quite fond of them. Welcome back. Third promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. They commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zeraljon did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They're elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Gulu Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. Before the founding of Tuliolol, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yakoi, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Along came the young Gulu Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yakoi in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulu Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor had decided to do next. Gulu Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed Pelu Pelu from the Yakoi's subjugation. Then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road and peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Gulu Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelo spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. You may not know that Gulu Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. Both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, third promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelo fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. So this is what they look like. Go on, set it in the tablet. Perfect fit. That leaves 6 more. You're well on your way, third promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand the alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Wuklamant. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment of caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide, yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. Get my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear that you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, third promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. And I suggest you talk to the Yakoi. They once ruled over far more than just Urgopacha and the Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were overlords of Yogg-Toghrul and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yakoi have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Up there. Oh, Krile, I have a question. I've been meaning to ask, and since we finished with the feat, where'd you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yogg-Tyrol around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago, right about the time my grandfather made his journey. The Dawn servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much, thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, let's head back to Tuliolal and get ready to search for the next elector. Very well for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zeralja's supporters talk. They might see an opportunity in his expansionist ambitions. They find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. As I've grown to love Buklamat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. Alright. Trial. I never dared hope we would find a lead for this earring. Mystery so quickly. Aaronville. Four-legged troubles aside, Wicklamat completed the feat and earned a keystone. That's all that matters. Alphino. The Yokoi once ruled the entirety of Yogg-Tyrol. I'm curious to see what has become of them. As expected, as I expected as much from the moment I saw him, but winning the contest against Zeralja will not be easy. Alright. It feels good to have the Feat of Gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zeralja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, but in God's know you've been all so supportive, but I want to be strong, or wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. It is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Back to Shalbov TA with us. The contest has hardly begun. Alright, so we need to head back to town. But we will do that in the next episode. Meantime, I'm going to take care of all these side quests. And then we will head out to the Hanu side of this starting next episode. So for now, we'll stop here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.